Okay, we should be live. Welcome back to the Here's the Deal channel right here on YouTube. Let me just do a real quick audio check. Okay, we should. All right, there we go. What's up, Clogmonger, Montana Kid, Dan Harmon? We'll wait for some people to get in here, and then I'm kind of on a tight schedule, so I can't spend too long on this live stream, but I think I got my call-in number fixed. And I think I'm set up for it. So if I do have some time at the end, I will put my number up there so we can have some people call in and chat. Maybe we can keep the call-ins, under 4 or 5 minutes so everybody has a chance to maybe call in, ask questions, or give a statement. How about that? I got a frog in my throat. Can you get a little frog in your throat with that? Of course you can get a frog in your throat. Come on, Eileen is here. Gray Dude is here. Happy FTC Day. I appreciate y'all being here. We might talk about a couple things. We might even go beyond this video and talk about some other videos that I thought were really interesting. Apparently Tucker Carlson is in Moscow tonight so that he can interview Vladimir Putin, and mainstream media is losing its mind. This is a dog and pony show, and I know this has nothing to do with police accountability and all this kind of stuff, but it does have something to do with what kind of freedom we want to be involved in America, and what kind of deception people are engaging in to get us to let go of our freedom. So I'm not sure what part Tucker Carlson has to play here, but I do applaud somebody having the journalistic wherewithal to go, you know what? Not one American journalist in the last 4 years or longer has bothered to interview the other side. Why don't we tackle that issue? And of course, fake stream CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra media is losing its frickin' mind, which is just seems like the dog and pony show under the big top to me. What's up, John Eagle? OG Cabbage. All right, before we get started on this video right now, this is coming to us from Body Cam Watch, and it's from Florida. It says on March 18th, 2023 in Florida, officers observed a 4-door Toyota sedan with a very dark license plate cover making an improper right turn. So what happens right there? Well, you just lost your constitutionally protected rights under the color of traffic law. Improperly illuminated license plate, dark license plate cover, improper turn. You didn't turn your signals. You didn't activate your turn signals in the appropriate time. And we're going to pull you over. And that gives us justification to harass you, ask you questions, and maybe even probe deeper on our little fishing expedition we're on to find out if you're guilty of anything. And another thing, a piece of information I want to give you, because this is in Florida, I looked up the Florida marijuana laws because they're going to say, we smell reefer and we know what happens to people who smoke reefer because we've seen reefer madness and we know it's the devil's lettuce. So it is illegal in Florida to carry any amount of marijuana. As a matter of fact, Florida remains a medical only use state. Medical only use. So you've got to be bonkers to drive around under the influence of or having already smoked a joint in your car as you're driving down the road. Not because I think you did anything wrong, but the badged law enforcers, the tyrants, are going to think you did something wrong, and they're going to treat you like you did something evil, and they're going to lay this penalty on you. So what is the penalty? Possession of 20 grams or less of cannabis is a misdemeanor punishable by a maximum sentence of 1 year in prison and a maximum fine of $1,000. So you are gambling with your life when you go on the public roadways, and you could encounter psychopathic, power tripping, badged, uniformed criminals. So let's watch some of this stuff. And I want to try to watch this from the perspective of not only the eyes of an independent auditor and people who love free speech and free expression and the freedoms, defined or codified in the Constitution. But I want to look at it from the perspective of people who would actually want to shine those thin blue line boots, because then I think we can kind of get a perspective, a well-rounded perspective of what actually is going on. Because I don't want to pick sides here. I want to acknowledge whatever wrong is being done here. And I want to make sure that we approach this thing with as little bias as we can, because let's face it, one of the biggest things that we fight in our own minds is the fact that, hey, we all have a worldview. We've all succumbed to and been the subject of incessant propaganda. We all have our ideas about how the world's supposed to work. But how can we take that knowledge, our past experiences, the things that we've learned, and bring them in the future today and affect positively the largest amount of people? So let's take a look at this.
On March 18, 2023, officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle for an improper right turn.
Do you have your license with you?
I do have my license.
The reason we pulled you over is when you guys turned out, you made an improper right.
Improper right?
Yep. An improper right is when you basically make a right-hand turn. And you go
I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay, so the first mistake is you've got two people in the same car and they both have rolled their windows down and there's officers at both windows. Now, this girl is having a conversation with this cop over here on the driver's side, and this guy is having a conversation with the cop over on the passenger side, and they're trying to get a story from each person. And if you're not aware of the story that your compadre is telling the cop that's dealing with them, then you could confuse your stories, and the cops will view that as, oh, you're trying to hide something from us. You're involved in some kind of nefarious activity. Because keep in mind, when you get pulled over by a cop, you are guilty until you prove yourself innocent. Not innocent until proven guilty, even though they will argue till they're blue in the face that, no, you're innocent until proven guilty. No, you are treated as a guilty party. And they're looking in your back seat during the stop. And they're looking in the front seat, and they're looking all around. If it's dark, they got their flashlight shining in your face and all over your car to find out what's going on. So it'd probably be a good idea not to roll your window all the way down, and especially not roll both windows all the way down, and especially not both start talking to the cops separately. As a matter of fact, one of the most beautiful and simple freedoms that we have in this country is the right to be silent. Now, it's simple. It's easy to learn. Anybody could learn it. You can learn it literally in a second. Just stop talking. Boom. There you go. You just accomplished it. The problem is it may be easy to learn, but apparently it's hard to execute because people just keep flapping their gums. Even if you know that you're guilty according to their law, the best thing that you can do is to shut the frick up.
You have a medical marijuana card?
I don't have a medical marijuana card.
No, I wasn't driving earlier also.
She was just
I was
sitting
maybe sitting, but I wasn't driving.
Well, she was sitting.
Wait, why were you watching this?
We drove by.
Drove by?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just sitting there.
All right. Do you have an ID on you?
No, I'm just a passenger.
Okay, we'll step out because we both smell marijuana, so step out.
We smell marijuana, step out. So now he's going to execute Pennsylvania versus Mims, which says, yeah, if a cop tells you to step out, you got to step out, which is a violation, in my opinion, of the Fourth Amendment to be secure in your persons, houses, papers, and effects. But he's going to tell you to step out because the Supreme Court said, yeah, we're going to give you the power to tell them to step out. And then they have to comply with you. If they don't comply, well, you can pull them out. You can exercise that force, which government's really good at.
Step out. Step out of the car. Step out of the car, I'm going to pull you out.
Yeah, the car facility smell weed and they're trying to pull me out and do like
Okay, come on.
extra stuff.
Step out.
You don't have the right.
Ma'am, step out of the car. I do have the right.
You don't.
Come over here.
Right by 7-Eleven.
Ma'am,
Because
step
you were
out of the
you were
car.
watching me over there. Don't touch me.
Ma'am, I'm about to grab you.
Don't
Step
you,
out of the
don't
car.
you dare.
Now, what are the cops acting like here? The cops are acting like they have probable cause. The problem is, and we'll go ahead and use their own Supreme Court. I hate this. I hate the fact that we have to pull up court cases. And, 9 times out of 10, you'll have a court case and established case law that conflicts with another court case and established case law. And this Commonwealth versus Barr, it says the Pennsylvania Supreme Court held that the smell of marijuana may be a factor, but not a standalone one in determining whether the totality of the circumstances established probable cause to permit a police officer to conduct a warrantless search of a vehicle. Never, ever give your consent, even if they threaten with a drug dog, even if they run the drug dog, even if there's a false or true hit on your car by the drug dog. You never, ever want to give up your consent. And if you do give up your consent, just know, if you made a mistake, you can always revoke consent. If you can give consent, you can revoke consent. The court simply determined that the smell of marijuana alone cannot establish probable cause to search the vehicle. But in the midst of all this, shut the front door.
Out. Step out.
Don't you dare touch me.
Hey, hey. Stop, stop. Stop, stop.
Don't make us tackle you. See what you made us do? You made us tackle you. You made us put the torture cuffs on. You made us do that.
Yeah, they just did this literally because you came. All we did was come out here, came out the neighborhood, and they just slammed her on the ground. What's your badge number?
Hey, get back.
What's your badge
Get
number?
back. You want to go to jail too?
All right.
Get on the sidewalk.
Okay.
Just stand here.
And he just put his hands on me.
Get up.
Now let's take it from the perspective of boot munchers, leather munchers. Okay, people who are sympathetic to the plight of the poor law enforcement officer. Thanks, Jackie B. Jackie B gifted 10 memberships here on the channel. Thanks, Jack B. I appreciate that. Breaking the Flaw got one. Hunter Johnson got one. Tinnablast, Chad, Jabadiah, Karen, Snow White, Chuck and Pigs, and BIP Solar Bear. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jack B. So from the perspective of people who are sympathetic to the thin blue line, you've got people out here saying stuff like, this is victim culture at work. Act up until you get arrested, and then a crybaby victim. Pathetic. I can't breathe. Oh, wow. He's going to say I can't breathe. This is what happens when you're never told no as a child. Seriously, these 18-year-olds need to grow the hell up. So the people who are sympathetic to the thin blue line gang are only looking at it from one perspective. The people who are more geared toward and in tune with liberty are looking at it from another perspective. Because let's face it, Harry Anslinger's long failed and costly drug war has cost people a lot of money, a lot of time, cost people their lives, and has enriched basically the prison industrial complex, creating a new class of slaves. And it really needs to stop. It's hard to imagine something more antithetical to freedom than the war on drugs, which is really a war on people. You've got people out here who just want to transport it or just want to smoke it or whatever. I'm not advocating for driving a 3,500 pound piece of metal down the road in an impaired fashion. That's not what I'm doing. But I want to, we got to call wrong and right. And it is wrong. It is evil. It is against liberty to drag somebody out of the car because you smell something that you perceive to be marijuana, especially when the Supreme Court has established in Commonwealth versus Barr that probable cause cannot be established because you think you smell something. Not only that, how many times have cops lied that they smelled something? So how can you even trust them? And then you got to find out, hey, were they on the Brady list? Because if they're on the Brady list, they're cops, so they're lying anyway. But if they're on the Brady list, then everybody knows they're not credible. when mom, let's see, having a gun, and so the guy has a firearm, which is protected by the Second Amendment, you would think. He cried more than a girl did. Let's see. So the majority of the comments under this video are sympathetic to the thin blue line and against these kids. And I can understand why people would be against the kids, especially when you see what this guy does.
Hey, don't walk up to that car. Got it. Hey,
Okay.
just can you come chow over here for me, man?
Do
I'm
not
not
put
gonna-
your
I have
hands
no
on me.
reason to
Put your
touch
hands
you.
on me. I'm putting my hands
Okay.
on you.
I have no
Not
reason
touch
to.
me.
Stop walking away then.
Go up then.
Walk
Back
over
up.
there. Walk
No.
over there.
I'm not walking nowhere. I'm staying on the sidewalk like you
Stay
just
over
told
here.
me.
Okay,
You
stay
said go on the
over there.
sidewalk.
Why are you
I'm on the
screaming at me?
sidewalk.
Why are you
Why are you
screaming?
telling me to do different stuff, you dumbass?
He's free to do that, but in my opinion, that's stupid. Because even if you're right, it's dangerous. It will always be dangerous to be right when the government is wrong. You never want to act erratically around a cop. It's not going to benefit you. Cops are already on a hairpin trigger anyway, as far as their ego is concerned. You know, this cop's thinking inside of himself, or, you know, it's a good possibility that he is, that how dare he talk? I am a law enforcement officer. How dare he talk? Does he not realize I come with the authority of the state of Florida? How dare he talk to me like that? It's not wise. Are you free to do it? Yes. I'm not even saying he's wrong in expressing his feelings here. I'm just saying it might be a good idea to exercise and apply a little bit of wisdom. Be calm. Don't be erratic. Daniel Shaver was shot for less than this. Johnny Wheatcroft was tormented in front of his kids for less than this. Philando Castile his life was ended for less than this right here. You got to act with a little bit of wisdom, knowing that you're dealing with a psychopathic power tripper. And I am not saying that this guy is well adjusted. I'm just saying he's not exercising any kind of wisdom at all. I'm not in this guy's corner, and I'm not in the cop's corner. Actually, essentially, I'm in both of their corners on this level. If injustice happens to one man anywhere, it happens to all men everywhere. When you're standing for justice, you're standing for justice even for the guy who's inflicting injustice on you. And that would be the cop in this case. Now, I just noticed this right here. This guy back here leaning against his truck looks like he's pulling out a camera and maybe he's about to record. Let's try to keep an eye on him as well.
You're a rookie. You
over
said
there.
come on the sidewalk. I'm on the sidewalk.
telling you
I'm
to
not
stand
going
there.
nowhere.
Telling you
I'm
to
not
stand
going
there.
nowhere. I'm staying on the sidewalk.
Okay, grab him.
I'm staying on
Grab
the
him.
sidewalk. I'm not
All
going.
right, so they blurred this guy's face out right here. It looks like he has his cell phone up. I don't know if he's talking on his cell phone. Let's see. Let me get me out of the way. Can you see this right here? This guy right here?
Going nowhere. I'm staying on this. No.
Get me out of here.
I'm not moving. I'm staying on the sidewalk. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing anything, dude. Stop. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing. Okay, I will stop. Bro, I wasn't doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing anything. Ow! Ow!
Now, as erratic as he was being, as out of control as he was being, he was standing on the sidewalk. There's literally no reason for the cops to tackle this guy. But people who are sympathetic to the thin blue line will go, what, are you kidding me? There was every reason for them to take this guy down. This guy could have a weapon. And it turns out he does have a weapon. So now it confirms the fears. Oh, look, there's another guy on the other side of the road. I can't tell if he's got a cell phone up, but look at these guys. Yeah, this guy has his cell phone out. This guy has his cell phone out. Good for these guys.
Give us your hands. No.
Dude.
Oh, give your hands. Oh.
Give us your hand. Let's throw anything today.
Stop.
Stop.
Ow.
Stop.
Ow.
Stop. Okay, stop reaching.
You about to break my neck.
Okay, stop. Let go of your hands. Let go of your hands. Let go of your hands.
Oh
Stop.
no. Oh, dude, I'm not doing nothing. Please stop. Please freaking stop. Please stop. Ow!
I just noticed the title of this video. 18-yearolds think they can bully police without consequences. How about police think they can bully 18-year-olds without consequences? What about that? It's like, look at it from the other side of the coin. Let's get a fully orbed view of this entire situation, shall we?
Stop! Stop!
Ow!
Stop!
Ow!
Stop!
Okay, I swear to God.
Just let go! Give us your arm!
Ow! Ow! Help me! Ow! 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 I am! I'm not doing nothing!
Dude, just stop! Give us your hands! I've said it 100 times!
Oh, no argument there, Law Docs. Law Doc says he just watched his friend be attacked. Things are hyper aggravated. First Amendment says you can yell, you can cuss, you can express yourself. No doubt. No doubt. You just have to know that when you express yourself like that, there are ego-driven cops with very fragile psyches, and they don't like to get yelled at like that. They get scared about everything. They are nervous at the drop of, oh my God. So if you're acting erratic, then that is going to heighten the fear inside that cop, and your life is basically hanging in the balance. So while, like I agree, he has the right to do what he did. I don't think he didn't harm anybody. He didn't threaten to harm anybody. He didn't damage property. He actually complied with the cop, maybe not in the way the cop wanted him to, but he was standing on the sidewalk. The cop told him to get away from the car, and he did get away from the car. I'm not saying that this guy is in the wrong, but I am saying is you have to consider exactly what you want to do when you're in such a tenuous situation like this, and you are talking about people who are apt to pull their guns out for no freaking reason and end your life. So yeah, no argument there. No argument there from Law Docs. I appreciate the comments. Steve Horola, member for 16 months. Aloha, everybody. Much love. Hit that like. Thank you very much, Steve.
No, I don't have to. Guys, yes.
Ow, dude, my arm. Fuck.
Yeah, Law Docs just followed up with that last comment. What may be lawful, and see, I don't even like to call it lawful. You are free to do this. You're not allowed to do this. Like somebody's over you and go, okay, you can talk now. Okay, you can stand on the sidewalk now. And I'm not trying to like correct you. I'm just trying to like think this thing out. But it's beyond lawful. You are a free human being. You can do whatever you want to, and no human being has the right to do what these cops are doing, even though they perceive that they have rights. And the people who back the Thin Blue Line gang perceive that these cops have rights, the rights to torment and violate and harass and trample the Constitution. What may be lawful may not be expedient. Best to keep calm. I think so. If for any other reason, even it's like, no, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Look at Daniel Shaver. Even though he was scared out of his wits, he was trying to comply. So, if you comply, you die. If you don't comply, you die. It's like, what's the point? I think in most circumstances, if you remain calm, if you remain sensible, then you can allay some of the irrational fears that the cops have. And that puts you in a little bit better situation. Will it do that in all cases? Obviously not. It didn't do it for Eric Garner. It didn't do it for Karen Garner. If there's anybody that the cops shouldn't have messed with, it should have been Daria Jalali and Austin Hopp should have never messed with Karen Garner in Loveland, California, Colorado. They should have seen her and go, man, she's a fragile old woman. I'm not putting my hands on her. I could hurt her. But they didn't have any problem doing that. So this is the mentality of the cops that you got to, it's almost like you have to pat. It's like, don't worry, dude. Hey, here's my hands. It's like when you get pulled over, what's the first thing you think about doing? I better put my hands where the cops can see them, because if they think I'm reaching between my seat, I could lose my life when I just want to go home to my family. So you're not wrong by keeping your hands down. It's probably better that you keep your hands up because, scaredy cat cops are going to come around there acting all wigged out.
Oh my God. Ow! 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 Ow!
Yeah, that one guy looks like he's for sure recording.
Stop reaching your pocket.
Oh! Dude. Oh! Oh! I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
Okay,
Oh!
roll over.
I can't. Get up, water!
Stop.
Water!
Sit up. Sit up. Bring your feet.
Hold me. Ow. Ow. Can I have water, please?
Yeah, hold on.
Mr. Murphy, please. Murphy, there's nothing in my pockets, I swear to God. Ow, my arm, my arm, my arm. Ow.
Stop.
Mister. Ow, 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 stop. No, your arm, dude, my arm.
barely touching
Dude, my
you.
elbow. Move your arm from like that, please. Please move your,
Nobody's
move your arm.
touching you.
Move your arm
I'm
from
hoping
under my
you don't
elbow.
fall.
Dude, why does it feel like that? I think my arm's broken. I honestly think my
what
arm's
is it?
broken.
I think he's got a zero in his pants. Don't grab it!
I won't.
Do not!
Stop.
Back up. Back up. Back up.
Hey, I just pulled this out of his ass, okay? Yes.
Okay, so he had a gun. But what does the Second Amendment say? What's supposed to be the supreme law of the land? The supreme law of the land, I don't care what state you live in, it's supposed to be the supreme law of the land is the Second Amendment. Part of the supreme law of the land is you have the right to keep and bear arms, and that right shall not be infringed. This is the right to life, liberty, property, the pursuit of happiness. And they freak out about a gun. But now the guy's acting erratic, which is not smart on the guy's part. Like normally you would want to be calm so that you can allay the fears of the cops and, not interject any kind of thought into their mind that you could be a threat to them. So if you would do that under normal circumstances, then you better do that if you have a firearm on you. And you really better do that if you got marijuana in the state of Florida. So I don't see these kids as acting in wisdom. But at the same time, I don't think they deserve this treatment by the cops either. And on the law enforcement side of it, all the people who are applauding the actions of the cops are going, thank God you got this vile thug. You know he had a firearm. It's like, yeah, that's constitutionally protected. He's got a right to keep a firearm. He's got a right to stay in his car if he wants to. And now you're applauding the violation of these people's rights. And as likable or unlikable as you think these kids are, or as much as you think they may deserve it, they need a stiff tongue lashing by the man. They need those cuffs on. They need to go down and get fingerprinted. And as much as you think that, pause that for a second, Thin Blue Line supporters, and just ask yourself, yeah, while these kids are not handling things very well at all, what exactly did they do wrong? Name their victims. Who did they victimize? Do they really deserve this kind of treatment? Take yourself out of the land of law enforcement. Try to put yourself in the land of, forget about constitutionality. Let's just say Bill of Rights, first, second, fourth, fifth. Okay. Put yourself along those planes. And then let's think about the oath that all these officers swore to protect, defend, and uphold. He should not catch a weapons charge if these cops were anywhere near being pro Second Amendment, but he will catch a weapons charge.
So get back.
Mom, I did not have that on me. No.
I did not have that on.
Step back. This just came out of his pants, okay? So step back.
Well, you know what? Maybe he didn't have that on him. Maybe that's a drop gun. I don't know. I wasn't looking real close. It's hard to tell with everything. That's why body cams sometimes are worthless. So let's see. This cop says, I felt something in his pants. Let's see.
Please move your arm. Move your arm from under my elbow. Dude, why does it feel like that? I think my arm's broken. I honestly think my arm's broken.
I think he's got a zero in his pants. Don't grab it!
I won't.
Do not!
Stop.
Back up. Back up.
So is that guy a sergeant? Let's see.
Back up. Back up.
Is that 3 stripes? Yeah, it looks like 3.
Back up.
Hey, I just pulled this out of his ass, okay? Yes, so get back.
Mom, I did not have that on me. No.
Ma'am,
Mom!
step back. This just came out of his pants.
I can't tell. He might have pulled that out of the kid's pants.
It's okay? So step back.
I just
Step back.
I am over here, but you don't have to handle him like that. You do not. That's my
Back up
child.
or you'll get cuffed too.
Mom. Hey, Lou. Mom, I did nothing. Ow.
Calm down.
Get my wallet.
No. Stay back.
Do you hear me?
No.
No,
No.
you can wait back there. We'll deal with it in a second.
I don't know. They said they got a gun off of him. I really don't know.
It was in his hand.
No. Pull my pants up. I don't have nothing in my stuff. Like, I need my shoes. Mom, my phone. Ow.
Why is he going to jail?
Because he resisted and he's in possession of a concealed firearm.
I didn't know.
He's in possession. The reason he's going to jail, this cop says, is because he resisted. He resisted our roadside piracy and extortion operation and our harass operation, and he was in possession of a concealed firearm. Why would you go to jail if you're a Second Amendment guy? And a lot of cops say that they are. Why would you catch a charge for concealed weapon when you have the right to keep and bear arms? The simple answer to that question is you don't have the right to keep and bear arms. If the law enforcers, the ones who are going to put the teeth on the enforcement, are going to violate your Second Amendment rights, you don't have them. I don't care what the paper under the glass at the National Archive says, or the Smithsonian Institute, or wherever the Constitution is, whatever glass, bulletproof glass it's under. I don't care what it says. How is it or lack of it going to be carried out by law enforcement? That's where the rubber meets the road. So if the enforcers who interact with us every single day don't recognize the sacredness of the right to keep and bear arms, which shall not be infringed, and they're going to have no problem infringing on it, then practically speaking, do you really have the right in the government's eyes to keep and bear arms? Ththese guys say you don't.
He's slamming on the ground. Going on the sidewalk.
And really, that should concern every single Thin Blue Line member, but they are trapped in cognitive dissonance, and they are held captive by cognitive bias. And their bias always goes toward law enforcement. Even when law enforcement is clearly wrong, they will take the sides of the law enforcement officer because they believe that they are heroes, that without them, society will crumble. Gangs will move in. The community will erode. That's the mentality that we're dealing with here. And we really, really got to hone our techniques, psychological and otherwise, in the way we present ourselves, in the way we think, in the way we talk, and bring these people along. Because there's a lot of people who applaud what we just saw here. Yeah, I'm not for the actions of these kids. I think that, I know they didn't threaten to harm, or damage anybody's property. They didn't create a victim, so they shouldn't be going to jail. And I see fully that traffic law trumps constitutional rights at this traffic stop. None of us should be for that, because you want your rights to be preserved if something like this came near to happening to you. But we got to look at both sides of it. We got to parse it out and then somehow articulate it and then bring it together in this seamless orchestration of psychological understanding so that we can present it to the masses who, in our estimation, are hoodwinked. And then bring our ideas to the table and have a calm, rational, logical, adult conversation about this and find out which position is more moral, is more right, is more just. And then we can weed out all the injustice. But if we keep talking past each other, if we keep calling, and I did it, I did it in this video. It's just so easy to call somebody a bootlicker. It's so easy to call them a leather muncher. It's so easy to call them, Thin Blue Line pirate supporters and just launch the ad hominems. I'm guilty of it, and I've got to. I feel like we're not going anywhere. I feel like we're spinning our wheels. I want to stop spinning our wheels. I want to start making progress, and I want to see a difference. I want to see a cop step forward and go, okay, he's got erratic behavior. What are we, a bunch of wusses? Okay, so he's got a concealed weapon. We don't have a right to infringe on his right to keep and bear arms. That's what I want to see start happening. I mean, if you agree, put a 1 in the room. If you disagree, put a 2 in the room. And then, maybe we'll have some time later to open it up to some audio dialogue where I can put the phone number on. Jack B gifted another 10 memberships. What the heck? Jack B, you were on fire, man. Toby got one. Other Side, George Daly, Outsider, Vic Tim got one. John Abernathy, Riley Davis, Salty Sass, Stomper, JD, Izzy, Other Side, and okay. Holy cow. Thank you, Jack B. Jack B has already gifted 20 memberships in this live stream alone. That's crazy. Thank you. Armed Fisherman's here. What's up, man? How you doing, Armed Fisherman? Visit the Armed Fisherman.
So I go on the sidewalk, I went in the sidewalk and they slammed me. Mom, they told me go on the sidewalk, I went on the sidewalk and they slammed me on the... Mom, this dude was punching me in my head. He punched me in my back 3 times. He punched me in my neck. Dude.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
It's fine. Just calm down.
Right here, okay?
Just let them do their job.
Take a breath.
Put your peanut off. Put your peanut off.
So I don't mind. At the end of the day, if he did that...
Oh my God. Bro, excuse me? Can you loosen these cuffs up a little bit, please?
So where was he even coming from?
I don't know, ma'am. I showed up after the struggle between the two
who
officers.
was the officer that pulled him over? Which officer pulled him over? That's the officer I want to speak to.
How old is your son?
He just turned 18.
Yeah, exactly, Citizen Z. He says, once again, no victim. Let's try to, there's so much rhetoric, man. I'm guilty of just, oh, man, come on. Dispense with the words, Brian. Let's boil it down to the least common denominator that can be obvious to everybody. Were the kids, while they were in the car, before they got pulled over, were they endangering anybody on the road? Answer the question, officer. Answer the question, police sympathizers. The answer is likely no, they weren't jeopardizing anybody's life. Is the possession of marijuana going to bother somebody else? When you got, you're not harming anybody, threatening harm, damaging property. No, the answer is no. Was a victim created by these kids, cops? No. Then why are they going to jail? Seriously. Even if you were a cop with your head on straight and you're not walking around, first of all, you wouldn't be, because you're like, man, this is just a cesspool of injustice. I can't be here. But, let's say your mentality was, I'm going to try to stay here and make the best of everything. And I'm going to nab the cops who are engaged in criminal activity. Let's say you got this guy and you took your fellow officer aside and said, guys, technically, constitutionally, I don't care what the Florida statutes and laws are. He's got the right to keep and bear arms. And it doesn't say he can't keep it in his butt crack. Constitutionally, they have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And if that means having drug paraphernalia or drugs, it's like they're obviously not dealers. And even if they were, are they harming somebody? Let's interject a little bit of rationality into this.
Okay, then we are under no obligation to tell you anything. Okay, just so you know. Okay. So what I'm going to tell you, as the supervisor, what I'm going to tell you. Okay, as a supervisor.
And I know you're a parent.
I am, absolutely, yes, ma'am. But what I'm going to tell you, these officers conducted a traffic stop. Mm-hmm. Okay, your son resisted. When I showed up, he was on the ground handcuffed. I am the officer that pulled this out of your son's underwear. Okay, that's not a commonplace. I'm sure he's not licensed to carry this, so that's a jail sentence right there.
Look at that. Oh my gosh. You are willing to put another human being in a cage in the face of the fact that you swore that you would uphold his constitutionally protected right to keep and bear arms. That's a jailable offense. It makes me sick.
It's not a safe. You don't have to be
Yes, you do. To conceal it, you do, ma'am. Yes, absolutely. And it's not holstered. I don't carry my firearm in my underwear. Okay, clinched between my butt cheeks. That's exactly where it was, and that's what my report's going to say.
Now, if you ask a cop, let's go on the other. Let's hang out on the other side of the fence, the thin blue line supporter side of the fence. If you were to ask any one of those who waved the thin blue line flag and march in those, those pro police parades, and they put the money in the donation drive 2 times a year. If you were to ask those people, did he commit a crime with that gun? They would say yes, because Florida says you can't conceal a firearm. But I wonder what they would say. Okay, if you are pro police in this room, I'm not here to dog you, okay? I vehemently disagree with you, but I'm not here to dog you. I'm not going to throw you under the bus. But if you're in the room and you are pro police and you think that what the police did to these kids right here, especially with regard to the kid with the firearm, if you think that they did right, just let me know in the chat room, because I would like to ask this question of somebody who is pro police. Because I don't understand, I'm trying to understand, but I don't understand swearing to protect shall not be infringed and then infringing. Because you kept you gave your word. I will uphold. I believe that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. That means the Second Amendment is the supreme law of the land. That means people have the right, not the privilege. They have the natural, God-given, unalienable right to keep and bear whatever the frick. If he had an Uzi in his pocket, he has the right to keep and bear arms. How can that ever be construed as a crime? How? So I'll read the comments as we play this. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Brandon Mitchell. As long as he didn't hurt anyone, who gives an F?
Yeah, and I was literally doing everything they said. They said go on the sidewalk. I went on the sidewalk. They started like walking up on me. I said, I'm on the phone. Can you please not grab me? And then he kept walking up on me. I listened to everything they said. Everything they said. Yeah, wait, do they have the body cam footage though, right? Oh yeah, dude. My dude. Oh my gosh.
You're such a sconted, except for resisting.
Can you please loosen it? Can I call my mom?
I'll tell you this. It's likely that if the passenger was totally chill and didn't start, kicking up dust and making a spectacle of himself, it's likely that they never would have found that gun and he would have walked away free and clear. It's likely. It's also likely that they would have arrested him anyway.
What's going on?
Can I call her and can you please?
She slipped out of her car.
It's breaking my. It's breaking.
Scoot this way. Scoot this way.
Please.
Here, step out and turn around. They go behind you.
Okay, but can you not tighten?
It won't be
them
tight.
super
I won't.
It's
It
cutting
won't.
my
All right, I'll fix it. I'll fix it for you. I'm gonna fix this one before I adjust this one. Okay?
Can you please call my mother?
What people are laughing at in the comment section under this video is that she was big tough girl when they pulled her over, and now she's sobbing like a little girl, and they're just making fun of the behavior change when law enforcement stepped in. And that, from their perspective, is another reason they think that law enforcement is good. It's because they're the badged uniform attitude adjusters. It's like, these kids got what they deserve. See, that's why we need law enforcement. Law and order all the way.
How old are you?
I just turned 18.
Okay, yeah. You can call her. We'll let you call her. Yeah. All right, she been patted down. You good on her?
I did a quick pat down.
How are you?
No, go for it.
Go ahead and have a seat. All right.
I'm just make sure you didn't.
Drop anything?
Yeah.
Wear the old tussle hat.
All right, here's what the male was charged with. Obstruction, battery on an officer, resisting with violence, carrying a concealed firearm, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. That kid, they just ruined his life, a big part of his life, at least for the next 10 years with all those charges right there. They basically threw the abbreviated book at him. obstruction, battery on an officer, resisting with violence, carrying a concealed. You think this kid's going to have an easy time getting into college or getting a job or whatever with that kind of background? They're going to do a background check on this guy, and I don't think in any of the 50 states he's going to get approved by, a federal firearms license dealer. And if he's ever found in possession of a firearm with those, he's going down. No matter what state he's in, because he's got a criminal record, and according to them, criminals can't carry firearms even after they've, paid their debt to society or whatever nonsense however that goes.
But I think the reason he had his arms locked like that was to keep the gun from falling.
Probably. Stuff him in the back.
Yeah, when I went to
There will probably be some kind of plea deal, and they'll make him say something he doesn't really want to say and do something he really doesn't want to do, but he'll feel like he has no choice and he's going to sign the plea deal. That's usually how it goes. The female was charged with obstruction, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of paraphernalia, which means based on this law in Florida, she could get 1 year imprisonment and a fine of $1,000. Possession of more than 20 grams and up to 25 pounds of cannabis is a felony punishable by a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison and a maximum fine of $1,000. This to me is outlandish. I will get to the super chats at the end here. Possession of 20 grams or less of cannabis, one of the most useful plants in the world, which after you internalize it makes you peaceful. You don't want to attack anybody but the door on the refrigerator so you can get your next snack. Cannabis is a misdemeanor punishable by a maximum sentence of a year imprisonment. So that's the maximum thing they could do. Now, they'll probably lessen that and say, well, you only have to spend 30 days in jail, but that's still 30. If she did, that's still 30 days in jail. Or they may just take away all that and say, okay, you have to have 6 months probation or whatever. But you still have this record based on nonsense laws. This up here says, is it legal in Florida? Is cannabis legal in Florida? No, recreational marijuana is still illegal in Florida, but it is possible that could change sometime in the near future. A proposed amendment seeks to authorize the use of recreational marijuana for people 21 and older, while also allowing, thanks government, you're not free, you're allowed to, you're getting permission from your governmental parents, allowing individuals to possess up to 3 ounces of marijuana. That's if you have a medical marijuana card. The use of seeks to authorize the use of recreational marijuana for people 21 and older. Well, didn't she just say she turned 18 18? So that wouldn't have applied to her anyway. And she would have still been found guilty under Florida law, not under Constitution, not under the supreme law of the land, under Florida law. And a lot of times under the arbitrary laws set by, on the fly, on the street by law enforcers. So what happened here? Traffic law trumps constitutional law. And they are using traffic law as a justification to violate their unalienable rights. And the majority of people who watch this, and there's I thought it was 4.5. It's 1.4, almost 1.5 million views just in the last, 2 weeks? And if you look at the comments, most of them are on the side of the cops. His mama is so proud. The girl folded instantly. Man, they think they're dealing with the damn chemistry teacher. Her son was found with a gun, but all she wanted to do was argue with the officers. Disgusting. Holy cow. Jack B, again, this is the 30th membership that Jack B has bought for members in the chat room in the last 48 minutes. Jack B, the Armed Fisherman, got a membership for the channel. Son of Liberty, Brandon Mitchell. Guys, tip your hat to Jack B. If you got a membership from Jack B tonight, give him some thanks in the chat. Shockproof got one. Brick got one. Who else got one? Sir Marty, Elliot James, 308, Stand for Truth got one. Rip Curl Readiness. Jeez, man. Thanks, Jack B. Yeah, so I didn't read one of them that was was pro or anti-cop. Let's see. Let's look at the newest comments. Let's see if there's any. 15 seconds ago, I wonder if he's intentionally lying or actually believes that he did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. Did he act foolish? Did he walk outside of the line of wisdom? I would say so. That's my opinion. But did he do anything wrong? Did he commit a crime? Is he a menace? Was he acting like a menace to society? Don't give the cops the impression that you're psycho, because that's what this kid did. Look, when you act like this, what are you gonna expect, man? Here, let me just play it back. It's pretty. It's like, if you want to draw attention to yourself like that, all right, go ahead. You're free to do that.
Walking away then.
Go up then.
Walk
Back
over
off.
there. Walk
No.
over there.
I'm not walking nowhere. I'm staying on the sidewalk like
Stay
you just
over
told me.
here. Okay,
You said
stay
go on the
over there.
sidewalk.
Why are you
I'm on the
screaming at me?
sidewalk.
Why are you
Why are you telling me to do different stuff, you dumbass?
Why are you
You're a
screaming?
rookie.
Stand
You
over
said
there.
come on the sidewalk. I'm on the sidewalk.
telling you
I'm
to
not
stand
going
over there.
nowhere.
Telling you to
I'm not
stand over
going
there.
nowhere. I'm staying on the sidewalk.
Okay, grab him.
Oh, do you hear what he said? Okay, grab him. Let's see. Let's listen to that again.
Staying on the sidewalk.
Okay, grab him.
I'm staying on.
Now, putting yourself for a second in a cop's mind, and I know it's difficult to do that because you got to be a psychopath to do that. Do psychopaths become cops, or do cops become psychopaths? Maybe psychopaths see an ad in the paper for the Ring of Power and they're like, I'm going for that because I want to order people around, abuse them, and violate them every chance I get. And I want to do it on camera. So the putting yourself in the mind of the cop is, wow, this was all recorded. That little outburst was recorded. And if this guy walks away after this traffic stop and we just let him go free and clear, he could harm somebody in the community acting like that right there. We better apprehend him and at least put him in cuffs until he cools down. I mean, at the minimum, the cops are probably thinking that. Not to mention they got their egos bruised and, you know, they're probably fearing for their lives because of the way this guy acted. But that's what I'm thinking that the cops are thinking. And that's probably why they apprehended him. And a lot of people will look at that and go, well, that's reasonable. Yeah, this guy should be apprehended. That's the world we live in, man. I'm an empath and I care about others. Fight the power. I'm surprised he didn't say I'm standing 10 toes down. I think it's a 50-50 mix. What's a 50-50 mix? In the comment section? Really? Important to acknowledge that failing to comply with police officers may lead to legal repercussions. Obstruction is a charge that can be imposed on those who resist or obstruct law enforcement. Refusing to cooperate with police can result in an arrest for obstruction. Regardless of your age or circumstances, this message is essential for all individuals to remember. Yeah, I don't think he's pro-cop or against cop right here. He's just kind of stating some common sense stuff. The whimpering, though, typical pretentious mooks. That's talking about the kids. These cops are tyrants and F all the bootlickers. And there you go. Look at that. These cops are tyrants and F all the bootlickers in this chat. What kind of gun is that? It's not illegal to have a firearm. Where's all the 2A people at? There you go. Okay. You think it's 50-50? I was not seeing those. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I can see how people would think that. They're worse than they make things. They must be Republicans thinking they're above the law, it appears. I fell asleep watching YouTube and I woke up to what I think was my dog whimpering, ready to help him. Turns out it was just this chick. Okay, maybe I don't know if it's 50. I don't know what the percentage split is. I saw a lot of people who were pro-cop on that. And if you think I was unfair in what I was saying in my assessment on that, let me know. I will. Let me open the phone lines. Put a one in the room if you guys are interested in doing that. I'm only going to have about 7:15. Yeah, I only got till 7:30ish. So 15 minutes for the phone lines. Put a one in the room if you want to do it, and then I'll open the phone lines if you guys are interested in doing it. If not, we can just go over a couple more videos and talk about those. Let's see, what can I do if we do? Let's see. I gotta be able to set this up so you guys can hear it on the mic. So Arm Fisherman says 1. Canatrol says 1. If we get like, okay, there's 189. If we get like 41s, we'll do it. And let's just have kind of some guidelines. Try to say what you want to say in like 4 minutes, because if we do 4 minutes, then we can get 3 or 4 people in the next 15 minutes. Is that fair? Breaking the Flaw says I was arrested because I continued to record without objection. Yeah, they'll find a way. They'll find a way. They'll find a way. All right, let's do this. Let's see. How do I do this? Okay, here's I'm going to put the phone number up on the screen. Hope this works. I tested it beforehand. There's the number right there. 918-410-9174. 918-410-9174. Feel free to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Let me make sure my ringer's up. All right. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, man. It's been a long time. 918-410-9174. The phone lines are open. Thanks, Pablo. God, I hope this thing works. Is anybody trying it and it's not working? It should work. I got to go to the bathroom so bad too. Man, it should work. It should work. Well, maybe nobody wants to call. Did anybody try to call? Yeah, it's been a long time, George. A long time. It's been back in D-Live days. Oh, here we go. Hey, you are on the live stream. Who is this? Oh, what? Oh, shoot. I have to do something? Oh, wait. Hold, accept. Hold and accept? No. I think I just hung up. I just hung up on you. I'm sorry, man. I didn't know I was supposed to press a button. Oh. Okay, are you there? Oh, it was Solo Yacker, too. Holy cow. Holy cow. Man, I am sorry. I just hung up on you, man. Let's see if I can call you back. Transcription not available. It just happened. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, what do I have to do? Okay, are you there?
I'm here, brother. How are you?
Wait a second. Hold on a second. I got to figure out exactly where I'm hearing you from, because I'm not hearing you out of my phone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I don't know where I'm hearing you from. Do it again.
Can you hear me?
Hold on one second. Sound speaker. All right, try it again.
Can you hear me now?
I think so. Yep, we got you.
All right, perfect. I just want to say a huge thanks to Jack B, because Jack B deserves everything that he just did. It was so unneeded, but it's so thankful and it's appreciated. Yeah, just like you were saying, go ahead.
No, I agree. Go ahead.
And just like you were saying, we do have a Second Amendment right, but unfortunately, the laws that some states put in place will get us locked up for a while. And it's not, I don't agree with them. That's why you see what I do on my channel where I'm open carry while fishing. I should be able to walk into Walmart. I should be able to walk into whatever. But, you know, for the most part, what happened to him, he has, you know, whether you agree with marijuana or not, he's not hurting anybody. His firearm wasn't hurting anybody. And the one thing I've always taken from your channel is that these victimless crimes. If nobody's been hurt, that is what we're fighting for. Is if there's a victim, there's a crime. If there's no victim, there's no crime. And that's why I love your channel, even with your constructive criticism towards me too.
Dude, I love you. I love your channel. I've learned so much from it, and I am in complete agreement with you. While I disagree with the laws that are in violation of individual rights, you're a fool if you openly violate their laws, knowing that they think you're a criminal, and at the end of the day, you're going to land in jail. Why go to jail when you don't have to?
You know, and that's that kind of that juggle that we do. It's like, oh, we want to not push it to that limit. We want to express it, but if they're going to say, hey, you're going to jail for it, look, I'll leave. If that's the case, I'll walk away from this. I don't want that. I'm not trying to go to jail. And, you know, it's a juggle. We'll say that.
Yeah. And I'll say something else too, on your behalf, is from my perspective, I mean, until I get out there and do what you do, I'm just, or any of the things, I don't care if it's Long Island Audit or Flex Your Freedoms or whoever's out there, you know, basically putting their head on the chopping block so that they can advance individual liberties in our land. But until you put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you do not realize the actual danger you're going through. Like when you got surrounded by all those badged law enforcers in Florida when you were just fishing, and you're surrounded by 6 guys, probably 3 of them are roided up. They're all scared. They just want to, you know, their primary objective is to go home safely at the end of the night, and they don't care what happens to you. Your life is hanging by a balance, by a thread, and people who aren't in that position do not understand that.
Yeah, you know, I say that to everybody. You've even said that same thing. Freedom is scary. Freedom is when you exercise freedom, it could put you in a place that you don't want to be, because there's going to be people that don't like you for it. There's people willing to fight you for, oh, you agree with this person, I'm going to beat you up. Or, you know, there's so many instances, and that's the thing about freedom, is that, you know, same thing with our founding fathers. They were, what were they? You know, in the eyes of the British, they were all being hung. That's what they were. They were all friggin', I'm lost for words on the word right now, but you know what I'm saying. They were all committing treason.
Right. Yeah.
In the eyes of the British.
Yep.
But that's not how we look at it. Exercising freedom is scary, but it's not treason. You know?
Yep. Especially,
and it shouldn't cost me my life.
Especially when it's codified in the Constitution that virtually every law enforcer swore to protect, defend, and uphold.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
We are talking to the armed.
You go.
Yeah, we're talking to the armed fisherman. Check out his channel. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Yep. No worries. Thank you very much for having me.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Take care.
Later.
All right, it's 7:24. We got time for one more. I promise, guys, we'll do another one like this. I love doing this kind of stuff, and I got to get the tech ironed out so it's a little bit more streamlined. So if somebody else wants to call in, let me put the armed fishermen's up. Donzie Mays, thanks for becoming a member. Welcome. Here is the Armed Fisherman's channel. What I would suggest when you go to these guys' channel is hit the popular tab and then check out their, if you haven't seen it, check out the most popular video playlist and then just go down the line. All right, you are live on Here's the Deal. Who are we talking to? Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me get you on speaker just a second. Okay, go for it. Can you hear me? Oh, shoot. I put you on mute, not speaker. Let's see. Sound. Hold on 1 second. Unable to network. Unstable network. What is going on here? Hey, are you still there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Go for it, man. You're live.
So, something I've always noticed, everybody's worried about the laws and everything. I had my sheriff, I was doing my own divorce a few years ago, and I asked my sheriff, how do you do a summons? And he says, I don't know, you probably ought to look it up, so I did. And I found out that every ticket, every demand to appear in court has a set of rules that must be followed by everybody. And it is your bulletproof vest against all of their attacks when there's no victim. Because it says right in the rules of summoning that the officer cannot be the victim. They cannot be the complainant, that every summons must have a complainant. And the officer cannot be it, because the officer is the one who is issuing the summons, and the person who issues the summons cannot have an interest in the case whatsoever.
Okay, so take us through this. Take us through this from square one, from somebody who doesn't know what you're talking about. Give us a scenario.
So the rules of summoning are the rules by which anybody has to follow in order to bring anyone into court for any reason whatsoever. And there must be an actual tort. A tort is a complaint of injury. The injury must be actual in fact, not supposed, or it has no standing in court. So whenever a cop gives you a ticket on the side of the road, they're handing you a ticket for nothing. Nobody complained against you. You're just going down the road minding your own business. So what if you're doing 80 and a 55? If you didn't hurt anybody, you caused no injury, nobody complained against you, they have no legal authority to actually come after you. A cop's authority is borrowed and minimal.
Okay, so
and their borrowed authority
only
comes from a complaint.
So my first question is, how do you get the courts to see it like you're articulating it right now?
It's written down just like that in the rules of summoning. You look up the rules of summoning, state or federal, and the federal rules of summoning is Rule 4 in Rules of Civil Procedure and Rule 4 of Rules of Criminal Procedure, and they're both very similar. So it's written down in the law like that. The officer cannot have a vested interest in the case, which means he cannot be a witness for or against the person being summoned.
Let me ask you a real quick question so that we can put this to practical application for a multitude of people. Have you done a video on this, or is there a video that people can watch on this?
No, I didn't realize that this was real until the current sheriff that I have in town told me to look it up, and I'm like, I don't know. And then I brought it up to him, and I no longer have license plates or registration on my vehicles, and he's told the rest of his officers to leave my whole family alone, because I've confronted the cops multiple times on, are you allowed to break the law? And when they tell you no, you ask them, why do you? And when they say, what do you mean? You say you violate the rules of summoning with every ticket you give out. So how come you violate the law to try and get me to claim I broke the law? And I've been pretty much put on a blacklist to just leave me the hell alone.
All right, everybody in the room that knows what your name is Jesse, right?
Yeah, Canatrol.
And
or
what,
Cowboy Troll.
What state do you live in?
I live in Colorado. Oh, and the law in Colorado, the first line in the law in the state of Colorado says, except as otherwise provided in Section 4 of this article for commercial drivers, no person shall drive upon the highways without a valid driver's license. That law literally says it is for commercial drivers. 100%.
In Colorado?
That's the law. In Colorado, yes. And if it's true in Colorado, it's true in every single state. It has to be.
Okay, Jesse, I gotta go. But I want to have this conversation. The number that don't say your number because you're live on the air. But is the number that you gave me, is it blocked, or is that your number?
No, that's my phone number.
Okay, I want to talk to you in the next day or two, because I want to understand this. I honestly I can't formulate it all on the fly. I got to sit down and study it and look at it. So it's intriguing to me. And I want to hear.
thought this was-
I want to hear more about your experience. Do you mind me calling you back maybe in the next 1 or 2 days and talking about it?
Yeah, that's cool.
And
That's
maybe
cool.
and maybe somehow we can get together and put a really simple, easy to understand video together about what you're talking about and show people where to go. Because man, this knowledge is power is stuff that this is where I'm at. This is what I want to do. I want to empower people with this kind of knowledge.
Right, and this just keeps us all protected with our own rights. And it really, honestly, the cops have to learn these laws. And the cops can lose their qualified immunity just because they don't know the rules of summoning.
All right, we got to talk about this. Okay, Jesse. Hey, I appreciate it. I got to go, but be looking for a call because I'm gonna be calling you in the next 2 or 3 days, 1 or 2 days.
Awesome, looking forward to it. Good talking to you, man.
All right, you too. Thank you, Jess. Bye. All right, I'm interested in that. Put a 1 in the room if you know what he's talking about. If you're aware of this summoning stuff, I've heard about it, but I want to apply this stuff. If we can operate on a platform of knowledge and have this power and walk humbly with this power and then spread this knowledge to everybody else, do you realize what we could accomplish in this world? I really appreciate information like that, especially talking to somebody who's actually living this kind of stuff out. So you guys understand all this stuff? What's up, Anarchy Television? I saw Jack B put, you got another 10, that's total of 40 members. Jack B paid for 40 members in this chat, in this live stream. Let me just read real quick live streams. I got to get out of here. I'm sorry, super chats. Let's see. Were there any super chats? Oh, yeah. Cliff Williams says, I still love your work, brother. Member for life. Thanks, Cliff Williams. I appreciate that. Dan Harmon, you would have better luck teaching a cat to speak French. I don't know exactly what that was about. Dan Harmon also said, unfortunately, half of the USSA, they are still brainwashed. I totally agree. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. I got to get out of here. If you guys like this live stream and you want to see more like it and you want to do a call-in, you want me to do like a dedicated call-in show where we can learn this kind of stuff and bounce ideas off of each other, let me know in the comments under this video. I will see you guys in the next live stream. Remember, freedom is dangerous. The only thing more dangerous is not having freedom.